What are we studying today? Where are you? When did you start studying English? How long have you been studying English? Who am I? Which animal is this? And why am I asking all these questions? Language is all about communication, and communication is a two-way thing. So not only do you need to be able to understand and answer questions, you also need to be able to ask questions. So today, I'm going to teach you how to form questions in English. So listen carefully to all of the explanations, and at the end of the video, there'll be a questions quiz. So the first thing we need in English to ask questions is our question words or our question phrases. In English, we have 7 different words. What, where, when, who, why, which, and how. Now, which and how are often put together with other words, like which animal, which countries have you visited, which colors do you like, and how. How long have you been studying English? How many brothers and sisters do you have? How often do you eat chocolate? So these are our question words and our question phrases. Okay. So our basic structure of an English sentence is we have a subject, verb, then an object. Here we have an example. Jill likes chocolate. Jill is the subject of the sentence, likes is the verb, and chocolate is the object. Basic English sentence structure. In English questions, we start with the question word or phrase, and this is followed by a verb. So question word or phrase, then verb in a question. So let's look at the easiest kind of question we have in English, subject questions. So this is when we don't know about the subject. We're asking a question about the subject. So for example, here we've got likes chocolate. So we don't know the subject, so this is a subject question. So all we do is replace the subject with a question word. So likes chocolate becomes who likes chocolate. So you can see we have our question word, then our verb. Question structure. Question word, then verb. So let's look at some examples of subject questions. My chocolate. Not me. Okay, just one more thing about subject questions. We don't use where or when in this kind of question. So in subject questions, we never use where or when. All right, our next type of question in English is an object question. This time, we don't know the object of the sentence. So let's take the same sentence again, Jill likes chocolate, but this time, we don't know the object. Jill likes. So we still put the question word at the beginning of the sentence. So this means we have to flip the sentence, which is a little more difficult. So we need some help. So we add a helping verb or an auxiliary verb. So here we're adding the verb do, which is our most common verb. So to make the sentence, we need the verb next, and it's the helping verb. This is the verb that does all the work in the sentence. So what does Jill like? Our main verb can relax now. It becomes the infinitive form, see no S, and moves after the subject. Our auxiliary verb takes on the verb form. So here there's an S, so does has an S. If this was in the past, the helping verb would be in the past. So the auxiliary and helping verb does all the work in the sentence, and the main verb gets to relax. So our question is, what does Jill like? Our object question. Okay, let's look at a couple more examples of object questions in English. So here are a couple more examples of object questions. The dog chases. We don't know the object. We don't know what the dog chases. So our question is what, with our helping verb, does the dog chase? So you see the S from the verb here, because it's third person, goes to the auxiliary verb. So what does, there's our subject, the dog, and chase, the main verb, goes back to the infinitive form. So the dog chases. What does the dog chase? Okay, second example. Jill ate. So this is in the past of eat, but we don't know what Jill ate. So our question word, we start, what? Then our auxiliary verb, again using the verb do, but this time it's the past. So what did Jill eat? And our main verb, relaxes, goes back to its infinitive form. Question being, what did Jill eat? So our question form is the question word or phrase, followed by the auxiliary or the helping verb, then the subject, then the main verb. So here we've got our question word, auxiliary verb, subject, main verb. Question word, auxiliary verb, subject, and main verb. So let's look at a couple of examples of object questions. Sometimes our sentences already have auxiliary verbs. If they do, we just use the ones that are there. Let's make it easy. So for example, Jill is playing solitaire. So present continuous. So our auxiliary verb is to be, and the main verb is play. So in the continuous form, Jill is playing solitaire. So our question stays in the same form using the same auxiliary verb. So what is Jill playing? Same structure, question word, auxiliary verb, subject, main verb. Another example, present perfect. Jill has played solitaire. Again, our auxiliary verb here is to have, so uses has, and the main verb is play. So we keep it the same. It's present perfect in the sentence, so it's present perfect in the question. So we use the same auxiliary verb, what has, then the subject, Jill, and the main verb, played. So same structure, question word, auxiliary, subject, and main verb. One more. Jill can play solitaire. Again, here our auxiliary is can. Play is the main verb, so we keep it the same in the question. What can Jill play? Can is the auxiliary verb, play is the main verb. So all of these still have that same structure of question word, auxiliary verb, subject, and main verb. So our auxiliary verbs are do, be, have, can, or other modal verbs like will, could, or should. So let's look at a few more examples of some object questions with different auxiliary verbs. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go, roku, shichi, hachi, kyu, ju. Okay, just one more note about questions with auxiliary verbs. If the main verb in the sentence is to be, we don't need an auxiliary verb. The verb to be is very strong in English, and it doesn't need any help. So for example, our questions, his name is Bill. He's our main verb to be. And our question, what is his name? So it's an object question, so we have to switch it, but we don't need any help because to be is very strong. So his name is Bill. What is his name? Well, here I am a teacher, so am is the verb to be. It's again an object question, so we have to flip it, but same verb to be. Because it doesn't need any help, the verb to be is very strong. So if the main verb if a sentence is to be, we don't need an auxiliary verb in the question. Right. All the questions we looked at so far are open questions. They start with a question word and they ask for information, so they're good for conversation. The last type of question I want to show you are closed questions or yes-no questions. These are not so good for conversation because they only require one-word answers. So these questions don't have a question word, they just start with the auxiliary verb. So they have an auxiliary verb and then a subject. So let's look at some examples. Are you happy? Yes? No. Do you like chocolate? Yes? No. Can you swim? Yes? No. Have you ever been to Australia? Yes? No. Will you subscribe to my YouTube channel? Yes. You can't say no to this question. So these are very closed questions because they only need one-word answers. You can give a little extra in them by using the auxiliary verb that's in the question. So instead of saying, are you happy? Yes, you can say, yes, I am. So the auxiliary verb is be, so we use be in the answer. So are you happy? Yes, I am, or no, I'm not. Do you like chocolate? Here the auxiliary verb is do, so that's what we use in the answer. Yes, I do, or no, I don't. Can you swim? Here the auxiliary verb is can, so the answers are yes, I can, or no, I can't. Have you ever been to Australia? Here the auxiliary is have, so we use have in the answer. Yes, I have, no, I haven't. And finally, will you subscribe to my YouTube channel? Will is the auxiliary, so that's what we use in the answer. Yes, I will. Okay, so let's look at some examples of closed questions. Hey, are you sleeping?
No.
Should you be studying?
No.
Do you have any homework?
No.
Are you just going to sit there all day?
Yes.
Now it's your turn. It's time to put all that information together for our questions quiz. Number 1. Hazuki eats for breakfast. And the question is, what does Hazuki eat for breakfast? Number 2. Aki studied English in last year. And the question is, where did Aki study English last year? Number 3 is my favorite student. And the question is, who is your favorite student? Number 4, my dog's name is... And the question is, what is your dog's name? Number 5, Jessica is traveling in... And the question is, where is Jessica traveling? Number 6 is the capital of Australia. And the question is, what is the capital of Australia? Number 7, Ingrid moved to Brisbane in... And the question is, when did Ingrid move to Brisbane? Number 8, Lorena can speak very well. And the question is, what can Lorena speak very well? Number 9, Douglas is studying English because... And the question is, why is Douglas studying English? Number 10, Fiona has lived in Cairns for years. And the question is, how long has Fiona lived in Cairns for? Or how many years has Fiona lived in Cairns for? I hope you enjoyed this video and that you understand a little bit more about forming questions in English. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for lots more English videos, and you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram for lots of inspiration and motivation. Thanks for watching.